Hello everybody, today I'm taking you on a driving tour of Camp Verde, Arizona, and it's just going to be like I had met you at the McDonald's and you hopped in the car and I just drove around town and told you a few of the things that I know about Camp Verde. Now I am dividing this video into two parts because Camp Verde is very geographically spread out. This is part one where we're going to go into some of the newer neighborhoods like the cliffs or the views. I'm going to maybe take you through Old Town, and then next week in part two I'm going to show you some of the areas that are spread out on a little bit more acreage. So stay tuned, get in the car, and let's take a drive through Camp Verde, Arizona. All right, I am just getting off the Interstate 17 at the 260, and I'm about to head east. Now, Camp Verde is on both the east and west side of Interstate 17. Like I say, I am coming from the north. If you're coming from Phoenix, you're going to be going northbound, and you will probably head east. That's where the bulk of the driving tour is going to be today. I'm just crossing the interstate right here, and I'm going to go through the McDonald's, or past the McDonald's. There's a Burger King, a couple of gas stations. There's actually a Wendy's on the other side. There's a Taco Bell, a Dairy Queen, a Starbucks, I think there's a Filiberto's there now. So off of the highway right here, because it's an attractive stop for travelers, there's a lot of these fast food restaurants. And then now I am kind of headed out of town towards Finney Flat, where we're going to drive through the town. Before I get into those details though, my name is Dawn Dickinson and the channel is Living in Northern Arizona. I profile a lot of the northern Arizona towns on this channel every single week to give you a perspective of what it's like living in the northern half of the state. Now, before I tell you more, take a look at the little landmark that we're about to go past as I make a left-hand turn, where it's like the Camp Verde sign and a flag and reminiscent of the Fort Verde days. And as I go into town, we're going to be passing some of the rural areas. Now on the left, some point, I can't see that well, there is a very nice manufactured home park that was done recently. So the homes in there are much newer than a lot of the manufactured home parks you'll see. And there is a land lease fee on those. I'm not crazy about homes in a park with a land lease fee, but it is a nice affordable option for a lot of people. And I think you can get something in there from the $250,000 $300,000 range if you're interested in something like that. Anyhow, I'm driving towards the views and the cliffs. We're going to drive through that neighborhood right now. You could see there's some industry here. You've got, I think we passed where you could buy storage sheds. There are a couple of mobile home parks. There's a Dollar General or a Dollar Tree. There are a couple of gas stations here, a couple of businesses. We're going to be passing the Bashas'. Bashas' is one of the bigger grocery stores. This is the biggest one in Camp Verde, and also Rimrock. A lot of people in Rimrock will shop at the Bashas'. And I'm about to go right, and we're going to go into now one of the newer neighborhoods, which would be the views. Anyhow, I wanted to tell you, my name is Dawn Dickinson. I am a real estate agent in Northern Arizona, so if you ever want information on buying or selling a home in Northern Arizona, you could reach out to me. My contact information is always in the description below, and you can give me a call, text, or an email, and I will get back to you. So now we're about to drive into some of the newer neighborhoods, and there are homes in here that are actually quite attractive. They are on city water, so that's very nice, because some of the rural parts of Camp Verde you would have to get a home on a well, but this neighborhood that I'm about to tour you, we've got nice affordable homes that are great for families. Some of these are 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. There might be a couple of 4-bedrooms in here, but you could see it's a nice family-sized neighborhood. And homes in here right now I'm seeing listed in maybe $350,000 to $400,000 range. You can find some homes in that price range, and that's kind of difficult these days to get a house for that price. But you can see it's a nice neighborhood, very well maintained. Some of the houses, look at, we were talking about or Mingus, views of Mingus Mountain. I will get into that a little bit more. I think the one I'm passing on the right is $355,000. Some of these were built in the early 2000s, like 2005-ish. So that's just something nice to know about this neighborhood. Now let me tell you a little bit more about housing in Camp Verde. The median list price for a home in Camp Verde right now is $629,000, and that is midsummer 2024. Again, you have neighborhoods like this. I'm actually just leaving the neighborhood now. I'm passing Camp Verde High School, and I'm going into one of the more rural neighborhoods. But again, let me get back to it. Median list price in Camp Verde, $629,000. Now, you'll have homes like the ones we had just passed. You will have a lot of neighborhoods where you could get a manufactured home on land. Again, we were talking about the other manufactured park that you have a land lease fee, but there are a lot of homes in Camp Verde that you could get a manufactured home on its own land, and that gives you the opportunity to have, again, a home where you own the land for an affordable price. And the other thing is you can get manufactured homes on land in Camp Verde where you have a big plot of land, and that's very attractive to some people. You might be able to get a newer manufactured home on land that you have an acre of land, and a lot of people want acreage, but there's typically a very high price tag attached to that. So you might want to consider Camp Verde if that's something that you're looking for. In fact, I am driving past one of those right now where you have a manufactured home on land. And in this neighborhood that we're about to go into, the reason I'm wanting to drive through this neighborhood is it's kind of a mixed neighborhood where you will have single family homes, but you could have a manufactured home on land also in the same neighborhood. In fact, I'm passing one of those right now where it's an older one. So some people don't like that. They don't want to have a single family and have to drive past a manufactured home, but other people don't really care about that. But the nice thing about this neighborhood is it gives you an opportunity to have a home on acreage and kind of a rural feel. Sorry, I'm a little bit stuttery today. So I am going into one of the nicer roads I like called Buffalo. The reason I wanted to take you into this neighborhood is because, again, you've got like a nice mix of homes on acreage. Some of the homes actually have flood irrigation, which is great if you're seeing one of these homes where you have a lot of grass, so you could water that reasonably priced. I did just pass one. There is a house on acreage in here, and I think there's a house on acre and then maybe another lot next to it. The house is for sale for $600,000, and the lot next to it maybe another $100,000 or $200,000. I could look that up for you. I have not been in there a while, but the deal on this particular property is it's difficult for $600,000-ish to get a home on acreage, but this one is built in like the late 70s, early 80s, and it's very outdated. So if you were into a project and wouldn't mind renovating, it might give you a chance to add value to get a home on acreage in Camp Verde. But everything looks very 1980, you know, the wallpaper, the gold, the gold fixtures, the brown shag carpet, that kind of thing. So if you're looking for a project, I could give you information on that. Now, I have been in this neighborhood showing houses before. It's kind of a funny story where I'm just driving through and somebody's flock of turkeys had gotten out and they were kind of like standing in the middle of the road. So I kind of had to slow down and turn around and get around the turkeys. So a good place if you want to have chickens or turkeys or some types of farm animals. Now I am coming to the end of the road where you could see Interstate 17, but my dash cam kind of crashed on me. So I had to just wait until I have gone back out past the high school again, and I'm now headed towards downtown Camp Verde, but I am passing this nice area where you have these big, beautiful cottonwood trees. And the day that I drove past here, they were doing some tree trimming work, so it was kind of down to one lane, but it's a really nice area. So I also want to point out that there are a lot of places in Camp Verde where you have a view of Mingus Mountain Range. We're about, you can see it now in my dash cam. I have a little bit of problem with the dash cam in a second. We're kind of like flipped upwards. So I'm going to put it back in a minute and fix that. But the point I'm kind of trying to make is that Mingus Mountain Range in the wintertime is very pretty after it snows, where you'll just see the white caps, you know, the snow caps on the mountain, and very pretty. But Camp Verde does not get a lot of snow, probably 1 to 2 inches of snow every single year. And you don't have to worry about shoveling your driveway because a storm will blow through, and then it will drop some snow and it will be gone the next day. So that's kind of nice. Now, Camp Verde is at about 3,200 foot above sea level. In fact, it's at, let me see, 3,146 foot elevation. So that gives you a decent temperature. The July high is, the average is 101, although you could have days where it's up to 110 if it's really hot midsummer. The January low is about 27, and the rainfall totals annually are about 14 inches. Let me get back to what I was talking about with the prices of homes. We had a median list price of $629,000 and an average, or I should say median price per square foot of $284. Now, if you want to rent a place in Camp Verde, median rent is about $1,700 a month. So that's about what prices are. The cost of living index in Camp Verde is 114, which means it's about 14% higher than the national average, which is really not that bad for the state of Arizona. The population of Camp Verde is just over 12,000 residents, 12,132. So now I am taking you downtown Camp Verde. You could see we passed a nice coffee shop. There's a little Italian restaurant over there. There's a library that I passed a while back. You've got a little bit of mix of buildings. Now you could see there's a sign advertising Corn Fest. So Corn Fest is a nice festival. It's coming up the weekend of July 21st, 20th, 21st, I'm sorry. I'm going to be out of town that weekend, but if you can get up to visit Cornfest, it's always nice. Now, I did this video around 4th of July weekend, so you could see it's very patriotic. People will hang, or the town will hang the American flags, so that's very nice. Again, Old Town, very green. I am passing the feed store. The feed store is great if you have animals, chickens, even for your dogs or goats, whatever. The feed store is very nice. I used to buy apple treats for the animals in that store. And yeah, I'm about through the other side of Camp Verde. So again, my name is Dawn Dickinson. I'm a realtor in northern Arizona. If you liked the video, please do me a favor and hit the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel because I do videos on northern Arizona every single week. And give me a call, text, or email if you'd like to hear about northern Arizona real estate.